Hello stranger! This is something new I want to do in my channel because I've been a matcha girly for more than a year now and I've been diving into different matcha powders I can use at home. So maybe I can share my discoveries, what matcha powders I've been liking lately, along with matcha reviews from different cafes. This is a new concept in my channel, so I'm still kinda rough with how I want the direction of my matcha videos to go, but surely I would want to make these videos as authentic, informative, and enjoyable as I can. So let's start! I have here my current favorite, which is the Wako variety from Marukyu Koyamaen. From Marukyu Koyamaen's website, this is around 800 pesos, a little bit more expensive compared to the really cheap ones you can get here in the Philippines, but this one is a ceremonial grade matcha sourced from Usucha, Japan. Comes in this really beautiful tin can. You can get this in 20 grams, but I buy mine in 40-gram cans, which lasts me more or less 20 cups. This comes with this little pamphlet where there are guides on preparation and storage. Usually, matcha powders oxidize and lose that vibrant green color over time the more you expose it to sunlight, heat, air, and moisture. So if you open your matcha tin can, never leave them open for a long time and make sure they are tightly sealed. Opening the tin can, this Wako matcha has a light, vibrant green color. I've actually seen more vibrant, darker green matchas like the gabaron from Marukyu Koyamaen. But to be fair, the gabaron one is an S-grade matcha while the Wako is considered as an A-grade matcha. This has a very light, sweet, fragrant smell, kinda nutty, and powder is fine enough for easy whisking with a chasen. This is one of my current daily matcha faves. As a matcha latte is very light on the palate, the right amount of umami and grassiness, no fishy taste or smell, there is only a tiny bit of bitterness, and I'm saying this because I've tried the gabaron one where the bitterness was just non-existent. But the bitterness can be easily masked or offset by milk or sweetener. And I'd have to agree with some of my friends and some people on Reddit who claims that this matcha tastes familiar. I do agree, when I hear of matcha, this is exactly the perfect taste that I would imagine it. If you're the type who doesn't like overly grassy or bitter matcha, I would definitely recommend this. I use oat milk because I think matcha is just divine paired up with oat milk, and I do add a sweetener but not too much. Just enough so that it'll blend well with the tiny bitterness. The aftertaste of the Wako matcha latte is sweet with some grassiness. Overall, there really is no very lingering aftertaste for me. If you like your matcha with just water or iced, some like this prepped as an Usucha where you mix the matcha with just water because of its lighter flavor profile. If you don't add sweeteners, personally, I do taste some tartness and the bitterness is elevated as compared to prepping it as a matcha latte. I did realize putting this over ice would help lessen that though. Personally, I don't drink my matcha with just ice. I love my matcha lattes, and I think this is highly recommended for that. I do think gabaron would be a better fit for matcha over ice. Now, has this Wako matcha ever oxidized or turned unfresh if you just store it outside the fridge within the can? Yes, it does. Same goes I think for any other matcha powder. It does start to form little lumps of powder here and there after 3 weeks, but the color is still pretty vibrant green. Typically, I finish a can of this within a month or two anyways. Summing up, I say this is a great powder for matcha lattes. Quality is definitely great. I'd say this is in the mid-price range, but you do get the quality for what it's worth, and this is why I've had 3 cans of this already. I'll keep it short and sweet. That's it for the matcha review. See you on the next one. Bye, stranger!